Yeesh. Well, I thought that covered more than that. Good morning. Oh, good morning, everybody. Well, I was trying something new with blocking, and I got my new speaker. I'm hoping, and it'll help with because everything I have on here is pretty cheapola. I don't feel like my lighting is very good, but I just don't know what you can do about that. You can only do so much about your lighting. When you have, I don't know, is that in my way? Well, I found out I do have to use it if I want that better sound. But it's just being goofy. I don't know why. Now the green light's on. Oh, so I could do speaker and that. I, I didn't read the directions yet. I figured with something like this, like, how could this be so hard? It's a mic. You plug it in, you turn it on, and then you should be able to go. Ignore my mess back there. That didn't show earlier when I was setting this up. And evidently, and now I'm going to be hitting that thing because I'm swinging my. But the bottom line is this thing really does help. I guess if I let it help. It's just so weird. But hello, good morning, good day to you all. It is Saturday, May 2nd. Oh my gosh, my birthday's right around the corner. I'm going to be big 64. I'll have made it to 64. The women in my family don't tend to make it too far. A lot of breast cancer and things, and just, I don't know, not house issues. That's not even funny because it's real. Oh, and God rest her soul. She was such a wonderful woman. And she really was. And that's so sad. Why is it that some of the most mentally challenged people can be just some of the most wonderful people in the world? I mean, my grandmother, my mother's mother she was just a darling, and yet she ended up, with heavy duty mental health issues. Well, if she was born with it, I don't know. I don't know the whole story. Back in my time, people just didn't have time. They didn't want to sit down and tell you the whole depressing story of the family. They didn't want to get into the family closet and dig things out and talk to you about them. And I think that could have been so helpful. It could have been helpful in so many different ways as far as preparing the predecessors, the posterity rather, those coming, from behind, coming up, going to be stepping into everything, and all that is part of everything. And I thought of something today that I feel ashamed of myself for, because it's something I didn't think about for, and now it's choking me up. So I can't go there, can't talk about it anymore. My label is government sesh 2. I was going to get into a little bit more about that because I feel like my one yesterday probably sounded pretty crazy. Well, I mean, not really crazy, but I mean, just, I'm not going to sit down and write the bullet points and write out everything all perfectly so that I can just get on here and just, you know, and then have it edited, and it's just going to be peachy whatever peaches and cream for everybody to watch. Ones that I watch like that, I find to be too sterilized, too boring. Honestly, I don't even like them. Anyway, I just wanted to add that the government as it is today, it is what it is. People have been trying to change the government for ages. Uh, I mean, for our government being only around about what? How old is our government? Can I ask my phone? I'm gonna hold on. I want to know. I know it's 200 something, but if I don't ask, I won't know exactly. Where is it? Kobe? Come on. Oh, come on. What in the... How old is the government of the United States? 237. I was going to say 250 initially. Well, that would have been pushing it a dozen years or more. So 237 years old. So, and I mean, it started with the very changing of whatever they considered, whatever they were doing from the very get go. Whenever, as things in our country started progressing, and there's so much I don't know about that, but I'll just say that you could legally say that from the very beginning they were trying to change things, and even probably after they did the big thing with you know all of the documents and well, okay, so there, it stopped on its own. I was just going to turn my back massager off because I was just going to, oh my God, here we go. In any case, so that's off, that's done. I can just focus better. So, for 237 years, people have been trying to change our government. Nobody was happy right from the get go. Nobody stayed happy anywhere along the line. 237 years, that's a long time to be trying to be, yeah, to have a very unsettled issue or set of issues continuously from various ranks and branches and so on and so forth. Well, okay, so I got that said. Then, and now to this very day, in the year of 2026, we're still doing it. All of the same stuff is essentially happening. And maybe a bit more because of technology, but probably not really. Probably not really. There was still, I'm sure, a lot of the same old crap going on back then, where whichever parties or the parties that were in with each other, but whatever party was the party of that term, they were all sitting like pigs in a trough, just slopping away at the food and all the luxuries, we'll say, all the luxuries of getting to be in that particular position of, hey, we can do this. I mean, we're the bigwigs or whatever, however they talk. I don't even know how they talk. I'm sure they talk a lot nowadays and probably even way back when encoded language. I don't know, but then I just picture them all looking back at us with all the slop on their faces and, hollering at us because we're the problem. We're the ones that are screwing everything up, which is so ass backwards and just kind of the most really rough draft of how you could put something like that as almost possible. But you could also throw in with their, asses hanging out just for comedic sake. Um, when I don't, there is no party that I like better or worse than, well, no, I can't say that. I can't say that. I am a more conservative person in certain aspects, and they override my what's the word? Democrats. I can't think of it. The left. Oh, I don't know. People use it. Oh God, I can't think of it. Kind of like the more secular ways of life. If anybody knows what I mean, anyone who is one way will understand what I'm saying with that. And those secular ways that I chose or deemed to be okay have changed a lot over the years. Some have lightened up a little bit, some have been cramped down on more because I just, as you get older, you grow, you learn, you shift in your thinking. Well, so anyway, what does that have to do with anything? Well, the bottom line is that uh, I want to say that I appreciate the government. I appreciate that we have a group of people, a too big of a group of people, however, and albeit, but a group of people that are willing to show up every day, do their jobs, whatever that all entails, because a lot of them have assistants up the yin yang, I'm sure. They delegate their workloads. Most of the time, I think they're activated is when they have to be in session and they have to get on their mic and say what the deal is, like in their specific office, what's going on, or their department. And they have to explain what's going on in their department. Oh, okay, so yeah, and whatever. And then other things that they might have to do, I have no clue. I've never been a government person. Now it just went on by itself. It's weird. Well, this one's going out anyway. Um, my back massager. It's just so nice. I can't help it. What can you do? And I do it every morning like clockwork. Well, anyway, I'll turn it off because I just can't stay as goodly focused. So I do appreciate their efforts, and I do appreciate when they do a good thing for the people, by the people, for the people. And their hearts are actually in the right place now and then. It's a really beautiful, beautiful thing. And it's beyond beautiful. I mean, I'm not talking aesthetics. I'm talking, it's good for everyone. What ends up being good for anyone can certainly be good for everyone, except for when they go too far. When they literally push onto one side, let's say the left starts trying to push their agenda onto the conservative side or the right side, whatever, with how they think people should live and breathe and have their being. I mean, that's literally how pushy the left was getting towards the end. The last couple of terms of the left, and even more, I'll say, but were hell. Just utterly hell, how I felt like I was being pushed around. And then when they did the great culling, and why hasn't he been terminated? You know, all those ones in with him who created that virus and unleashed it on us, and whose hands were all in that cookie jar? And what are they doing about that? Anything? Has anything been done? I have to question. And this is what I can do, and this is what everybody can do, and anyone can do, is get on here and talk about how you feel about these things. Because how else is anyone else going to know how you feel? I mean, otherwise we're all just dust in the wind. Well, we are anyway. And but I can be dust with a voice. I can have a voice to say how I feel about things and what I see and what I would like to see more of, for sure. And as much as they're saying that the economy is getting better, I don't see it yet. I'm not really seeing it that bigly. And it kind of, I know things take time, but I feel like we definitely missed some severe beats with certain things that have gone on and have occurred since the new administration has, has come into term. And it's like you can't just do a few good things for the people, kind of like give the dog a bone and then go and do all these other things that just are gonna freak the people out. And like we're so stressed out, and we have been so fricked with from one side up down the other with these crazy things that have occurred from the supposed Democrat Party, and while they were in term. And it was to the point, our language was getting policed. People were getting kicked off of social platforms for saying what they felt about certain things. It was just nuts. I felt, I hope the speaker's working. Oh, it would just bum me out. Well, in any case. And then now, I don't like this talk about, oh, now they're talking about dangerous language. Like our president's safety is dependent on there being no dangerous language or speech or speaking. Well, I think that's starting to lean on our First Amendment a bit, as much as I care about our president's life, and I want him and everyone to be safe. I want everyone to be safe. But, we cannot be going after the First Amendment again. Why is it? It's the first thing, it seems like, it starts getting chipped away at. And it's just bullcrap because they don't want people to have a say. And, well, I have a say, and I have said it, and there. That's it. That's that. I'm not going to say no more. Wow, that was a bit of a rant, but there's so much more. A person feels from deep down in their soul, and the ways that I have felt just made to feel so shitty. I've been called a racist. I've been called this and that, and I'm just flyover country. Nothing matters. That's just flyover country. And then you got, homophobic and all these other things. And like I've always said to all, ever since any point in time of any of those movements, as I've always said, is each to their own. Just, why do you gotta shove it in anyone's face? I don't think, just like religious people should not be shoving that in anyone's face or anything. I mean, it would be just like, I don't want no druggies shoving drugs in anybody that I know's face, or anyone, but it happens every day. It happens. Little kids are getting drugs shoved in their faces, and then they get hooked on them, and then what the odds end up being from 1 to 10. Well, and I'm not trying to liken certain lifestyles as like, you know, being a drug, or, I'm just saying, there's things that just to show how far things can go and reach, is with the pushing, the shoving things down another person's throat and saying, you got to like this because we all are good with it. And if you're not good with it, then, you're this, that, the other thing, and everything else. They're just gonna, oh, and that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy thinking. I don't expect anybody to like everything about me or my life. And I don't push anything about me or my life. I'm just saying how I feel right now from my heart. And I'm trying to be done because I said I was done, but I guess a few more things had to come out. Well, the good thing today is that it's beautiful out. It's gorgeous. We're going to have a beautiful week. Thankfully, we've had so many storms. Um, uh, and But no, ultimately, I think, well, as I always say, life is a trip. It really is. But it is true. If you get handed lemons, make lemonade. You know, I would have liked to have come up with something a little more original to myself, because I'm not a lemon person, but whatever, it works. And that's what we can do. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I guess once I get all of this out of my system again, or in a different way, and whatnot, then, I can just move on to my next opinions on things, people, places, and things that about life, that how I feel, what I've seen, what I'd like to see more of. I'd like to see prices come down more. I went grocery shopping the other day, and it was crazy what it ended up costing in the end. I don't go grocery shopping very often. I'll wait till I'm down to the last 2 pickles in the pickle jar, just because I hate grocery shopping that bad. But I went, and I got a lot, because I'm not going to go again for a long time. I mean, thank God for freezers. Anyhow, enough of that. Enough of me. Peace, love, joy, and hopefully y'all can have some very righteous fun today. Be safe. I love you. And until next time, be good to y'all selves. Bye.